Welcome back, everybody. I'm Zell, and today we've got this big old box on the table from Artisan Cutlery. And I am actually I should have had some of this done earlier. We're going to get this thing out of the box. This is how Artisan sends most of their upper middle level knives. Big old box that you have to find someplace to put. I don't know. I guess you can keep your cigars in here or something. I'm not sure. I mean, it's nice presentation, but it may be just a little overboard. We'll get in here. We have a little Artisan Cutlery thing about their warranty, blah, blah, blah. And telling you that if you cut yourself, it's your own fault. We have the knife and, of course, a little cloth. And I see something else down in there. What the heck might that be? Oh. We have a specification card. And let's see if this is the right one. Because this is not the right specification card for this knife. So, our Artisan Cutlery rep goobered that a little bit. Now, Artisan sent both of these over. They sent this aluminum one months ago, and I can imagine that their rep is upset with me because we haven't looked at it. Well, not long after this one arrived, the pass around got this one. And I didn't want to do this until we could look at the Falcon at two different levels and see how big a difference there really is. And that was what was important to me. And hopefully you'll enjoy it too. And first off, let's go for this dude. It's an M390. And it is a big old Wharncliffe with a great action. Grade 5 titanium, 6AL4V, whatever you'd like to say. It's a bolster lock type knife. And we've got carbon fiber down in here. Really nice. They've done a good job. They've got a nice pocket clip on it. We can look at the screws. I'm not going to be impressed with them. I can tell you that right now because I can see that every one of them is a different type of T6. Well, I lied, and I don't have the long T6 over here, so that is tight. That is pretty impressive. It's tight and deep. These button tops, they're not bad either. I mean, they could be better, of course, but okay, I take it back. I do have the long T8 that will stick down in the pivot. And there's our long T8. The pivot's a little shallow, but reasonably tight. Not going to complain about that too much. We'll say the screws are good. Not great, but good. And there you go. Get a good look. This thing's pretty sexy. I like a big old Wharncliffe. You guys know that. And there you go. It's pretty good. Now, let's get a look at the aluminum one before we do some size comparison. And the aluminum one, well, what do you know? It looks almost, well, yeah, almost exactly the same. Except we're running a stainless steel bent clip and G10 down here in the pockets. And it is a liner on both sides, and the liners are not milled out for weight savings. We have aluminum backspacer, where this one's titanium. Looks like we have exactly the same hardware in them. Nope, this one's all got button tops, so we'll check them out real quick. Same pivot, though, so. And they're the same little screws, and that's actually kind of impressive. Usually you see button tops, and unless you're dealing with Bestech or you're dealing with junk screws. You know, Spyderco and their Bird line is kind of infamous for that. Their Spyderco, they do a heck of a lot better. And these are up there with the Spyderco stuff. So there you go. The knives are pretty much the same. One's just aluminum and one's full titanium with a mill clip. And M390 versus D2. So there we go. Let's get some other knives out here for kind of size reference. There's your Buck 110 and about the same size there. And let's see. There's a Rat Model 1. We got big Warncliffs, so of course we got big Warncliffs. We're going to get out a Roxy 4, and really very similar size, except the Roxy 4 is a little seaxier. And here is a Liang Ma. Oh, geez. One of my favorite knives. And guys, I'm telling you, I'm getting old and senile. Can't remember the name of this one, or maybe just two daggum many knife names. But definitely one of my favorite designs from Liang. And there you go. It's a big knife. We'll stick something small up here that you guys will recognize. And you can get, you know, a little more. Here is a Goblin from Best Tech. Big old knife. So we're going to go back to the way we're going to do this. We're going to go to the titanium one, because this one should be the coolest, the best, the right? So mechanically, they are very much the same, except this one's a bolster lock and this one is a liner lock. That's mechanically, that's the only differences. My guess is if we were to take these blades out, from looking at them, that the blades are cut pretty much the same. They're swedged the same. Really nice swedge work. I love this finish that they put on this M390. That is something you don't see every day. Check that out. It's kind of it doesn't come across on camera like it does in person. That is a lot shinier, a lot more polished than it looks on the camera as far as the belt finish. Love that. Where on our, we're all stonewash on our D2, which is also pretty dang attractive. Liking it. I'm actually like this model a lot. It is. Let's look at our blade our edge termination. We got a little choil down there. Got a really good edge termination on the M390. Not quite as good on the D2, and I don't know why, because that is exactly the same hook. But you know, each blade is just a little bit different. Ergonomics. Now, this knife has got the ergonomics in space. I don't even need to measure this one. There's enough knife back there for any ham-fisted guy to get his hand around. And it's just good. Flipper tab is, well, we'll talk about it. But anyhow, ergonomically, actually, the D2 model might be a little better. And it all depends on how sensitive you are to the pocket clip, but the D2 model, the pocket clip disappears a little better. Doesn't hurt on this one, but I know it's there. And I still know it's there on this one, but it's a little more out of the way. All right, so actions. Actual action, how it works. There you go. That's the D2. Drops. No angry jimping right there. Not even any office jimping, but it seems to work fine. Go over here. Same thing. No angry jimping. Just a little bit of a chamfer. And it's a little smoother. Now, I have not goobered with either of these knives. I haven't tightened, loosened the pivot, any of those things. I haven't even had either one of them apart. So that is from the factory there, and may be able to be adjusted, but, you know, from the factory, even playing field. Very good on both, though. And if you guys have heard me talk a little about, and Artisan is bad about this, other companies are bad too. Artisan just, in some of their first round of knives, seem to really not get it, but they're catching on. This is another one of those knives. It's a bit of a slow flipper. It's a positive flipper, flips every time, but it just feels a little slow. And it's because of where they put the flipper tab. And, you know, we've talked about how to fix that, and it's a bit complicated, so we're not going to go into it. Now, whenever we get to the S35VN one, no change in position on the flipper tab, but because of slightly better detent dialing and slightly better smoothness in the knife, it's still not as snappy as, say, this, which one is this? This is the Sticks. Still not as snappy as this guy. Definitely not as snappy as one of these. But look where the flipper tab is. And that's a left-handed knife. I got to get my finger in the right spot. And then look where the flipper tab is here. That's your big difference. But still, very good actions. I would like to see them kind of get with it on where to put the flipper tabs, but and I think they have on some of their newer designs. So that is, you know, kind of the big thing. We'll get our sheet out here because I still haven't found those pants. I don't know. Nixie may have completely ate them. I may have to get another pair. But there you go. We'll see if we can get it stuck under this one. Yep. So this one, the D2 model in aluminum model is going to ride just a little lower, but you have the big shiny stainless clip. Both clips work just fine. Excuse me. And the texture on the G10 or the carbon fiber, not a big deal. So, which one should you buy? Well, this is a very, very hard one. If you want a Falcon, wow, if it's going to be your everyday, I'm going to carry this knife every freaking day knife, I would get this one probably an S35VN. It's a little cheaper in S35VN. And, you know, there you go. But this one is in D2. If you've got the equipment to sharpen D2 and you're decent at sharpening it, it's really hard to turn this one back because of the price difference. And that's something that Artisan is doing that's super cool. This one's $80. This one in M390 is $300 MSRPs, and a little bit less in S35VN. I personally would choose S35VN because it's, you know, considerably easier to sharpen. And S35VN properly heat treated holds an edge plenty long enough. And we should talk a little about actual dimensions. 3.62 on the blade, 3.8 millimeter thick blade stock, which is plenty thick on both of them. And it's their Wharncliffe's overall length of more than 8.5 inches and a closed length of 5.04. And the M390 one weighs 5.8 ounces. And the aluminum, of course, weighs 5.6 because it's just a little lighter. And the newer ones have carbon fiber here. This is one from the first run of this Falcon, and this one's got G10 in it. Newer ones are carbon fiber, which is kind of cool, especially for $80. But guys, the Falcon. It's one of the cooler knives that Artisan Cutlery has designed. Really like the big Wharncliffe. And I like this deal where I believe they have this one, and maybe they don't, but they do with some of their knives. They have them all the way down to a G10 model liner lock. And the G10 model liner lock is going to run somewhere around $50. So they've got like 3 levels of knives to fit every budget. And that's actually something that I wish more knife companies would do. And I don't want to talk about that yet. Sorry, something else, a whole different subject, but we'll talk about it sometime soon. So these knives from Artisan Cutlery, did that to myself, are rather nice. I like how Artisan's doing little things like this. They put Artisan there in the back of the knife without being all over the place. I know some people have a problem with their logo. I don't. I'm not going to get all wiggy about that. It's not like they threw an actual swastika or an iron cross or something like that up there. And part of you that are fussing about that probably have iron crosses all over your truck or your motorcycle. So, you know, to each his own. Fuss about what you want and leave everybody else alone. That's what we really should be doing here. But overall, Falcon, really cool knife. Should you get one? Maybe. Should you get which one? I can't answer that for you. That depends on you, your use case scenario, and I would not hesitate if the Falcon was the thing for me to get either one of them, depending on how much money I wanted to spend, how I was planning on carrying the knife. If I was going to carry it every day and use the crap out of it, contrary to popular ways people think about this stuff, I would probably get the S35VN one and give the $250 or $60 for it, or whatever it is. I don't know exactly the price on that one. I probably wouldn't go all the way to the M390 one. But if it was going to be one that I was going to carry, say, once, 2, 3, 4 times a month, I might go with the D10 one, because there just really isn't that much difference in feel between the two knives. And that's all I'm going to say about these. They are cool knives, cool designs, and that's it. Artisan Cutlery done a pretty good job on them. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell button. And why would you hit the bell? Well, you want to see everything that happens here on the Zelrick YouTube channel, and also because things are a lot more sporadic nowadays because I've got a lot more going on. And more importantly, when Staza and I do Late Knife with Zell and Staza, you don't want to miss it. That's what we do whenever we want to get directly in touch with you guys and be able to interact with you. And we have a great time doing it, and we hope to see you on Late Knife with Zell and Staza. Have a great day, everybody. And I'm going to move on to some other knives I've got to get videos done on. I think we've got an Arrakis. We've got a Jix. That's what this one is. And I actually like it more than the sticks. And what else? There was something else we got to do a video on. We got some stuff to do, guys. More coming at you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.